Invincible Season 2 Part 2 is over, and boys, this one ended a little bit weird. Not to say I didn't enjoy it, but well, you'll see what I mean. But before we get into it, I do want to mention real quick that there is a part 1 of this video where I cover episode 5 and 6. So if you want to see that, feel free to subscribe to the channel and check that out. Anyway, let's get into it. So episode 7 starts with Mark and Amber going on a date because Mark be busy. And spoiler alert, this dude gets absolutely cucked this entire episode. This man got the blue balls of the Buddha. First we got Boom Boy thinking he bought a 1v1 Davy Jones, which, let me remind you, this man lost to a group of people called the Lizard League just last episode. And then later on, out of absolutely nowhere, in the middle of a date, this random Viltrumite comes in and damn near wrings Amber's neck. And after doing this, the Viltra bitch thinks she can just come in and convince Mark, oh yeah, by the way, trust me, I'm chill. Bro, I'm chill. Like, hell no, bro, you just spawned in and threatened to chop Mark's girl in half. You cannot act like you are not insane. And it only gets worse because to prove she isn't evil, she helps Mark save some random ass cruise ship and then immediately says, oh hell no bro, you trash. Them weak ass humans should have died anyway. Like bro, who are you trying to convince? You need psychiatric help. But after deciding Mark isn't strong enough, the Viltrumite decides she's just gonna beat Mark's ass until he gives up, even though he already refused. And I'm just sitting here like, bruh, has she never heard of no means no? But after whooping Mark, the Viltrumite leaves and Cecil comes in to do his job as professional yapper and say nothing. But you wanna know what I was wondering while this whole fight was happening? Why didn't Mark read all his dad's comic books he found so he could discover a way to beat the Viltrumites? Like, I'm sorry, I know Invincible fans might hate this take, but Mark is an absolute dumbass. And look, I'm not expecting Mark to be able to defeat a Viltrumite after reading one comic book, but I swear he doesn't even put in the effort. It is so infuriating. Amber must feel the same way because after being almost choked to death by an alien, she decides she's finally gonna break up with Mark. And none against Amber, she cool and all as a character, but that was just not made to be, bro. That relationship was pretty much consuming the entire show. And that's when we move on to episode 8, where this big-headed brainiac invades Mark's home and tries to murder his mom and grape-colored mutant brother. And this brain dude is another man added to the list of people who need psychiatric care in this show, cause bro, he is out of it. And his power is the, multiverse ability, and he basically shoots green little Rick and Morty at portals, allowing him and others to travel dimensions. And I will say, they do make some pretty funny jokes here and there, sending Mark into basically the Spider-Man universe and also back to the Stone Age to fight talking dinosaurs. But like, I'm sorry, this multiverse ability is so played out, and it's even acknowledged directly in the show. And I have seen defense of using the multiverse gimmick, and I'm sorry, but to me, that's just meat riding. There are ways to develop your character without making them talk to multiverse alternatives. Anyway, enough multiverse yapping, because thankfully, after Mark sees his mom's arm get snapped in half, he finally locks in and he just straight up kills this brain dude. And this develops into one of the best moments in the season so far, where Mark says, I thought you were stronger, which is sorta deep and felt pretty nice as a character growth statement. But like, I do gotta say, maybe you should have thought about how strong he was before absolutely brutalizing him. Like, you had him on the ground leaking blood after one punch, and then proceeded to throw 15 more. There ain't no early stoppage in the Invincible universe, as we can clearly see they are on demon time. And this brings us to the final scene in the season, where future Eve and the rest of the fake-ass Justice League saves Mark and sends him home. And before leaving, Eve says she hasn't seen Mark in decades, and that her one wish is for Mark to go back home and tell her past self how Mark feels about her. And then bro goes back to his timeline and immediately folds not telling Eve once again. Like, come on, bro, you had one job. And by the way, I know some of these comments gonna be brain dead, so I'ma just say it now. Yes, I understand Mark is in a bad emotional state right now, yada yada, but you gotta admit, it's kinda funny. Anyway, that is the end of the season, and look, I'ma be honest, I'm kinda disappointed, and I understand this feels like a build-up character growth arc, but I still felt bored half the time I was watching this season. And it wasn't bad, don't get me wrong, it just kinda felt underwhelming, and I would personally give this season like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm kinda curious about the public opinion about this season, so do me a favor, and if you got time, let me know how you felt in the comment section below. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I cover other shows, and I will be covering Invincible Season 3, whenever that comes out. Anyway, thanks for watching, like the vid, sub, appreciate y'all, deuce.